problem, respectfully, is that your husband is the least qualified Department of Health and Human Services head that we've had in history. I think that's a very dangerous.
His job is leadership and not lab work. Do you remember when we were told to trust the experts, to trust the science, to trust Dr. Fauci? Yes, lying Dr. Fauci. And guess what? As sheep, we listened. We did it. And what happened? Businesses were destroyed. Our children were isolated. And it broke the nation's trust, all from a man who changed his story with the wind. And now, Cheryl Hines goes on The View. You're getting ready to see this in this video. She goes on The View and she debates the merits of RFK Jr. and shows that he's qualified to lead his role, as she's being attacked by these catty women on The View who think that he's not qualified. And it's funny that these same people would think that Dr. Fauci was qualified, but not think that RFK Jr. is qualified. Something's fishy. Take a look at this.
The problem, respectfully, is that your husband is the least qualified Department of Health and Human Services head that we've had in history. I think that's a very dangerous.
Why is he less qualified than an economist?
I think that he
possible?
is less qualified.
He has spent his career studying toxins, studying people's health, fighting for one guy who was using Roundup for his job.
He has also spread a lot of misinformation, a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion. And I think it's just a very dangerous thing. I say it with the utmost respect.
Some of it's good and some of it's not. That's the point.
Listen, we all have different views here.
Yes.
And when you say, misinformation, disinformation, we could go back to COVID when...
He's connecting circumcision to autism.
May I finish?
Please.
When Fauci people were saying when you get the vaccine, you cannot transmit COVID. It will stop COVID. And that was disinformation, misinformation.
We're also still learning about it. It was a novel virus we've never encountered before.
Right.
Because now the doctors will...
Oh, no. Hold it right here. See, and this is them ganging up on her. They're ganging up on little Miss Cheryl Hines, and she's doing a fine job defending herself. But let's just be clear and honest with this story. Fauci was the most credentialed doctor in government, and he was dead wrong on nearly everything that mattered during COVID. That is the truth. He lied about 2 weeks to slow the spread. Y'all remember that? All I need is 2 weeks to slow the spread. Just give me 2 weeks. Just give me 2. 1, 2, 2. Give me a 1. You got your 1. Give me a 2. You got your 2. Give me 2 weeks, 14 days, and we will slow the spread. Y'all all know how that went. All right? Masks. School closures ensued, and vaccine transmission, all because we were told that we need 2 weeks to slow the spread. He also pushed lockdowns that devastated small businesses, children's education, and mental health. There are people who are still recovering psychologically and academically from how the shutdown and COVID-19 was handled. This is true. It's a fact. He downplayed natural immunity and censored doctors who disagreed. That is true. Repeatedly changed the story, destroyed public trust, and walked away with a taxpayer-funded pension, which he should have never received. So here is the bottom line. Being qualified doesn't mean being right. Fauci proved that. RFK Jr. represents independence, accountability, and the courage to tell the truth. America doesn't need another bureaucrat with a white coat. It needs someone willing to fight for transparency, freedom, and real health reform. That's what we need. And yes, RFK Jr., he's brought a lot to the table. He's challenging the system at its core. He's coming up with new ways to go about bringing opportunity for Americans to better their health and to become more optimized through even removing the bureaucracy and the red tape around peptides and other methods that have long been able to assist people in their overall health and wellness. RFK Jr. is very much so qualified. He has a proven legal and regulatory background, decades holding government agencies and corporations accountable, brings an outsider's perspective that challenges corruption and groupthink in public health. That is important. What if we had that kind of mindset during the pandemic, right? Has the courage to question Big Pharma, the CDC, and the FDA, institutions that have repeatedly failed the American people over and over and over and over again. He understands how to manage complex systems and build oversight. Even if he's not a doctor, he understands these things. And he's surrounded by expert advisors. His job is leadership and not lab work. Let's take a look at the rest of this video, and then I'll come back with a closing response.
At the time, they were censoring Bobby because Bobby said, where's the science to show us this? And there wasn't any, but people attacked him and said, you're wrong. So it's like, let's take a step back. I know that's your opinion, and that's okay.
And so, yes, Bobby, RFK Jr. is going to be attacked in a manner that we've never seen before. We witnessed what happened even when he was being assigned to that role. People were coming out rioting and petitioning and finding creative ways to try to slow down his ability to be appointed. Why? Because we're bringing in someone who hasn't been bought by the big system, by Big Pharma. And this is important for the American people to get through our heads, that we don't need professional Washington, D.C., bottom of the barrel swamp creatures leading us. No, we need the outsiders as well that can bring about a new day, a new mindset, a new outlook at business. Not a stay in the box approach, but a mindset that says, hey, I've been able to compete and be successful in the marketplace, in the free market. Now let's bring that kind of leadership and governance to the federal government. What does the federal government have to lose? And we know the answer to that question. They'll lose money because Big Pharma and the FDA has gained immensely. They have enriched themselves off of poisoning the American people, especially through pills, medications, through unnecessary surgeries that people have to go through and have that they recommend, and even through our food supply. Yes, I strongly believe that we are being, for the lack of better words, poisoned, not from without, but from within, from those and by those who claim that they have our best interests in mind. Kudos to RFK Jr. Continue to fight for the American people. We the people are gracious and thankful for your leadership. Let me know what you think below, my friends, in the comment section. Am I right or am I wrong? Am I weak or am I strong? God bless you and God bless America.